read the story, The Old Country Advice to American Travel by William Surrey. So, I think you understood the whole story. Let's see. Answer the questions, please. So, what advice did Uncle give Mary? Alina?
How to behave in the train.
Okay. And how to behave and what to do during the travel. Okay. And the next question. What strangers did Uncle tell Mary to stay away from?
He said to stay away from imposters.
And
he advised him not to play cards.
So to stay away from people.
From people who play cards.
He said him not to.
He told him
not to drink alcohol and to smoke.
He said him stay away from people with cigarette.
And lazy.
He said him to.
He told him.
He told him to stay away from strange women, women who can be
adventurous. Okay. And where did he tell him to hide his money? Where did he tell him to hide his money?
He told him to put his money in the shoe under the pillow.
And put the shoe
under the pillow.
And
don't sleep all night.
And not to.
And not to sleep all night.
The whole night. Okay. Why did Uncle Garo warn his nephew? Why did he tell all these things to him?
He thought that Mary would get into trouble.
Okay. Did Mary follow all his uncle's advice?
The first day he followed all his advice, but the second day he didn't follow his advice.
And did Mary enjoy his journey? Was it pleasant?
Yes.
Sasha.
I think that at second day he enjoyed his pleasant, but at Thursday he didn't enjoy it.
Why? Why do you think he didn't enjoy?
Because at Thursday he followed his uncle's advice.
Okay. And do you think that Uncle thought that Mary would follow all his instructions?
I don't think so, because when his uncle was young, he wasn't the same.
You think so? Okay. So, do you think that Uncle believed Mary when he told lies?
I think that his uncle believed Mary because he was very pleasant with his nephew.
Why do you think Mary tell lies to his uncle about the journey? Why do you think he tell lies?
Because he didn't want to disappoint his uncle.
Any other ideas? No other ideas. Okay, so as we decided, the first, I think everybody agrees that the first day Mary didn't have a very pleasant journey because he followed all uncle's instructions, and the second day he had a pleasant journey because he followed instructions. So, have you ever had such experience in which your relatives gave you a lot of different instructions before you went off on a trip? And what happened?
My grandmother always gives me different instructions. For example, to wash my hands and to be always tidy. And I usually try to follow my grandmother's advice.
And do you have pleasant journey then?
Yes, because I think that every person must follow those advice. My mother gave me advice. She said me not to speak suspicious men, not to leave my luggage, and hide my money.
And did you have pleasant journey?
Yes, I have had pleasant journey.
My friends always give me advice, and I always follow this advice because I think that my friends are very clever.
Сережа.
One day when I and my friends went to the river, my mother advised me not to swim a lot, but I didn't follow her advice.
Did you catch a cold?
No, I didn't.
You didn't. Can you say that you are very strong and healthy?
I can't say that I'm very strong, but I'm strong. Not very.
Thank you, Helen.
My mother gives me advice. For example, she says me not to speak with unknown people, wash my hands, and of course I have got a pleasant journey.
And do you always follow your advice?
Yes, of course, I always follow my mother's advice.
Okay, Helen, what about
My
you?
sister always gives me advice because she travels a lot and she can get me very very useful advice.
Thank you, Vera. What about you?
My mother said to me not
Told me, he said to.
told me not to drink alcohol, not to smoke, and not to go to bed very late. And I always followed her advice.
But we speak about journey. So she told you about this before you went off on a journey.
Yes.
Thank you, Penny.
My mother told me not to get acquainted with strange people and hide my money. And I follow her advice.
Good.
Nobody gives me advices because everybody knows that I'm a very clever boy and I'll never get into trouble.
I think that you are also a very shy boy if you speak about yourself. Okay, thank you. I quite agree with you. Did you enjoy reading this story?
Yes, I enjoyed reading this story because this story is very helpful and interesting.
And can you say that it's funny?
Yes.
And I think it will be rather funny to role play this story. Let's try. So imagine that you are the characters of this story, and let's see what we shall have. Okay? Let's begin. Take your places. Take your seat.
One year, Mike traveled from Bristol to New York. Before he got to board the train, his uncle Gar paid him a visit.
Hello, my dear uncle. I'm going to travel by train to New York. What can you advise me?
Yes, I'll give you some advice. When you get to the train, choose your seat very carefully. Sit down and do not look about.
Yes, sir.
Several moments after the train begins to move, the men wearing uniforms will ask you for a ticket. Ignore them. They'll be imposters.
How will I know?
You will know. You are no longer a child.
Yes, sir.
Before you had traveled 20 miles, young man will offer you a cigarette. Don't take it. It will be docked.
No problem.
On your way to the dinner, a very beautiful woman will bump into you. Ignore her. She'll be adventurous. Then you must go on in and eat. Order the best food, and if the young woman sits across of you, don't look into her eyes. And if she speaks, pretend to be deaf.
Yes, of course.
That's all. One thing more. When you go to the bed, put your money into your shoe. And put your shoe under your pillow. And don't sleep all the night.
Of course.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I wish you a pleasant journey.
Thanks.
The next day, Malik got aboard the train and traveled straight across America to New York.
Hello, show us your tickets, please.
Oh no, you are imposters. You are wrong.
Why?
There's our documents. We aren't imposters.
So, there is matter. Thank you. No problem.
The two men came to him like not imposters. The young man with the dropped cigarette didn't write. The beautiful woman didn't sit across the table from Malik in the dinner. And there was no card game in the smoke. But at night, Malik followed all the uncle's instructions. He put his money in his shoe. shoe under the pillow and put his head on the pillow and didn't sleep all night. But the second day, the second night, he obeyed and held the ritual. When he woke up, he went to the dinner to have breakfast.
Bon appetit. Thank you. Good morning. Here is the menu. What would you like to start with?
A cup of tea, please.
What kind of tea do you prefer? Black or green?
Black.
With sugar or not?
Without, please.
What would you like for sweet?
Nothing.
Here is your tea. Bon appetit.
Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
I'm Lisa.
Such a beautiful name. You're like a princess. I have a box of chocolate in my compartment. Will you join me?
Okay, I'll come later.
See you later. Hello?
Hello.
Do you want to smoke?
Yes. Thank you very much.
No problem. Such a good day.
Yes, I quite agree with you. What is your name?
My name is Malik. And what's your name?
I'm Mr. Smith.
I'm glad to see you, Mr. Smith.
I'm glad to see you too.
See you later.
Yes.
Oh, what are you doing here, guys? How can you read so terrible stories? Let's play cards.
Really? It's a good idea.
Long before the train ever got to New York, Malik knew everybody aboard the train and everybody knew him. While the train was traveling through the Harlem, Malik and the young man who had accepted the cigarettes and two young ladies on their way to bazaar formed a quartet and sang songs.
Never smile at a crocodile. You can get friendly with a crocodile. Don't be taken in by his welcome grin. He's a magic how well it is with his scream. Never smile at a crocodile. Never tip your head except to talk a while. Never run, walk away. Say good night, not good day. Clear the aisle. Never smile at Mr. Crocodile.
South's journey was very pleasant. When Malik came back from New York, his old uncle visited him again.
Hello, my dear nephew.
Hello.
Did you follow my instructions?
Yes, of course.
Oh, I please you very much, my dear nephew. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So thank you very much. I think you played excellently and I enjoyed your role. And now let's continue our talk and our discussion about travel. So I think the time has changed since Uncle spoke to Mary. And if Uncle Gary was speaking to his nephew nowadays, what advice would he tell his nephew? So imagine that you are my uncles and aunts, I'm your niece and nephew, and give me advice please, I'm going to travel. What will you advise me? Vera.
Olga, hide your money. Not to get acquainted with the strange people.
Don't ask unknown people to look after your luggage.
Or don't leave your luggage.
Yes, madam, I'll do it.
You mustn't take any cigarettes.
Don't take strange things in the train.
Olga, don't drink alcohol with unknown people.
Don't leave the train at the station.
Thank you. Don't take much luggage.
Don't take unknown food from unknown people.
Okay, I'll follow your advice and I think it's very useful. Okay, and my next question. Do you prefer traveling alone or in a company as Melik did? What about you?
I prefer to traveling with company, but because traveling alone isn't interesting.
It's down.
Yes.
I always traveling with my friends because we enjoyed our traveling if I with my friends.
I prefer to travel with my friends, but if I travel on business, I prefer alone.
Why?
Because with friends I can't be
Frank with them.
yes.
You will have to tell them your business secrets. So maybe they are not your good friends then.
They're good friends, but I can't.
But you're not. Okay.
I prefer to travel in company because when we travel in company, we are enjoying our journey more than if I go alone. So I think it's more interesting and more beautiful.
I prefer to travel with my friends or my parents because in different situations they can help me.
What situations do you mean?
Maybe strangers, men who can do something bad for me and my parents.
Okay.
I prefer to travel with my parents or with my friends because I think that to travel alone it is very dangerous.
I like to travel with my friends because when we are together we are happy.
I always travel with my friends or parents. I like to travel with my friends because it's so funny, and with my parents because we are happy when we are together.
And to your words I can add that when we travel alone, time goes very slowly during our trip, and when we are in a company, the time passes very quickly. Yes? Yes. So, if you had summer holidays today, so if you had summer holidays now, where would you go to travel? I think you have a dream, and also I have some posters and postcards on my table. Come here and choose the place where would you like to travel. So say please, in what place would you like to go and why, if you had holidays today? So Alina, let's begin.
If I had holidays today, I would go to London because I want to see the Tower of London and the Thames Bridge because I think that there are very interesting places and I can find a lot of interesting things there.
Alina, I think you would like to see the Tower Bridge.
The Tower Bridge.
And what is a tower? What interesting things can you see there? Can you see the crowns of kings and queens of Great Britain?
Yes, the Tower of London is a museum now, and it's very interesting.
Okay.
I would go to Paris.
Paris.
Paris to visit Disneyland. I would like to visit different attractions, and I want to go to visit the house of Pharaoh and the
sleep in beauty castle, and I think that all people in the world dream to visit Disneyland.
Okay, somebody from Disneyland has come to our door already. And do you think that Disneyland is interesting only for children? Can I join you? I'm an adult person.
Yes, I think that you can go to Disneyland too.
And will it be interesting and fun for? Will I have fun there?
Yes, I think that it will be interesting for you.
Thank you, Vera.
If I had holidays today, I would go to Egypt because I like to swim very much and I have never seen the Red Sea. I think that Egypt is a very beautiful place. There are great pyramids. Many people speak about Egypt's pyramids and I want to see them too. That is why I would like to go to Egypt.
Thank you.
I want to see the capital of USA, Washington DC. I want to see all the memorial places and I want to know how to get around Washington.
Thank you.
As for me, if I had some holidays, I would like to go to the USA, to New York, because I want to see the skyscrapers. They're so high and so splendid. And one of my really dreams to see a Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty. It is so beautiful.
And do you know that you can climb inside the Statue of Liberty till your head?
Really?
Really, and you can look down through the stones in your crown. They are windows, and you can stand inside the head of statue and look down.
Oh, it's splendid. I want to see this building more and more.
And when I was there, now I can't express my feelings at that moment was when I was standing inside the Statue of Liberty. I wish you to experience the same as I did.
Thank you very much.
I'm a sportsman and always was fond of water sport. And if I have holidays this time, I'll go to the Cyprus because there I can get extreme boating and can get the water skiing.
Are you fond of extreme sports?
Yes, of course.
So you would like to take up extreme sports when you go to the sea. What do you do here? What extreme sports do you find in our region?
I can't find bicycle. Extreme bicycle. We can get the extreme bicycle.
So, and you only dream to experience the other extreme sports like water skis. Okay.
If I had holiday today, I would go to the United States because I want to see the United States capital. And also I think that the United States is a very beautiful country. And I want to see the skyscrapers very much. It is my dream.
It's a beautiful country, but I think it's so large that you can find different places there, and beautiful and ugly and different kinds of places, and you should of course see them.
If I had a holiday today, I would go to Egypt because I want to swim and to lie on the sun. I think that Egypt is a very beautiful country. I like this country.
And besides it, it's a very ancient country.
Yes.
Okay, Helen?
Some holidays are coming and I'm going to visit Washington DC because my friend advised me to go there, and it was my dream to visit the capital of the United States.
Of the United States.
If I had holiday today, I would go to Egypt. It is my dream to visit Egypt because there are many sites. For example, I want to see pyramids. And of course, I like to swim and to lay in the sun.
Okay, now let's make up dialogues. Change your cards, please. And imagine that you have already been to these places and make up a dialogue, please. Have you got any questions? No? I think you had enough time. Let's begin. So, who is ready to answer already? You, Vera, please.
Hello, Vera. Hello. Where were you 2 weeks ago? I rang you up, but there were no answer. 2 weeks ago, I was in Egypt. It's so beautiful place. I saw very big, great Egypt's pyramids. It was so wonderful. And where were you last weekend? I went to Washington. There are a lot of beautiful and memorable places, and I invite you to go there. Would you like to go with me to Washington? Of course, I would like to go with you to Washington. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you, girls, but you didn't hear the task. I asked you to change the cards. Okay, thank you. You girls, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Where have you been this autumn?
Oh, this autumn I went to London.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Oh, yes, I like it very much. It is very beautiful town.
What did you see there?
There I was in tower. I saw the Windsor Castle and many other places.
Oh, it's beautiful.
What about you?
Oh, this autumn I was in Paris, in Disneyland.
Oh, what did you like best?
Oh, I liked the House of Horror. It was very interesting, and I was very afraid of different things.
Oh, let's go with me to Paris this summer again.
Oh, okay, I'd love to. Bye.
Paris, Sasha, Paris. Okay, boys, please.
Hello,
Hello,
how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Where did you spend your summer?
Oh, friend, I was in the USA and I saw the skyscrapers and the stadium of Olympic.
You like them?
So it was so beautiful that I would like to go there again. What about you? Have you been to any country this summer?
Yeah, I was in Cyprus.
What did you do there?
I'm fond of water sport, and every day there I had water skiing.
Then you would like to go again?
Be sure, I would like.
And what do you think about rest in different countries?
It's very interesting.
Goodbye.
Right.
You also decided not to change the places of visit.
Hello, Bob.
Hi.
Where have you been? I ran you up, but nobody was at home.
I have been to Egypt.
Oh, how do you like it there?
I saw a lot of pyramids and other sites, and I also lie on the sun.
Oh, it's very interesting. Let's go to the Egypt again next summer.
Yes, I would like to go there.
Goodbye.
Thank you, bye.
Sasha, I am liking this. Seriously, Egypt. Without Egypt. Okay, thank you, boys. You girls, please.
Hello, Helen. I'm glad to see you.
Hello, I'm glad to see you too.
Where were you 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago, I was in the capital of the USA. I was in Washington. I saw many sites. For example, I saw many memorials, Jefferson Memorial and Lincoln Memorial. And of course, I saw their castle. And I know that you are fond of traveling. Where were you 2 weeks ago?
Yes, Helen. I am fond of traveling and I like to travel very much, but I prefer to tell about our native country. Last summer I worked in St. Petersburg. I think it's the very beautiful city and the most beautiful city in our country. I saw there many museums and theaters. Besides, I was in the Hermitage and in the Conservatory. I think I had a pleasant journey.
Oh, I haven't been there. I have never been there.
I advise you to visit this city.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
So you decided to speak about the place where you really have been, not imaginary places. Thank you. Lena, and you made a mistake. Washington, D.C. You always should add these two letters. District of Columbia, yeah? So, thank you very much. You had very interesting dialogues, and I noticed that you have your favorite word today, beautiful. Beautiful, but we can say nice, wonderful, fine, good, and so on. Okay, now, please remember your last journey. I think last summer you went on a trip, and of course you went in a company. So speak about your last journey, and I think you will, don't forget to say in which company you went, and if you bought the tickets beforehand, what things you took, and what instructions you had, and so you have, do you need any time to think?
Yes.
I think you are ready to speak, Ильина.
Last summer I went to Equatoria. It's a very wonderful place because there are a lot of interesting things, and we took part in different contests, and my mother always gave me different advice. For example, she told me to be always tidy and clean, and to wash my hands every time, and I followed my mother's advice.
Thank you, Alena. What about you, Serежа?
My last summer holiday, I and my friend spent in the camp. When I was going to the camp, my parents gave me a lot of advice. For example, not to drink alcohol, not to smoke, not to swim a lot. But when I went to the camp, I didn't follow all this advice because I prefer to follow my instructions and
my own.
And I and my friends enjoyed our stay there.
So you said that you didn't follow the instructions. You smoked, you drank alcohol,
No, I didn't smoke.
you swam much.
Yes, I swam much, but I didn't smoke.
Okay, so you had a very big company in the camp, I think, yes, and enjoyed the company. What about you, Lena?
Last summer I was in Moscow. I visited my sister's house. She lives in Moscow. And my mother gave me advice. For example, she told me not to speak with unknown people and be attentive. Of course, I followed my mother's advice. And my sister and I visited many places in Moscow. For example, we were in the Red Square, and we saw the Kremlin clock, and I had a pleasant journey.
Thank you. Igor, what about you?
Last summer I was in the south with my friend without parents. So we booked seats beforehand, and there we spent a good time. But before the trip, my mother gave me some advice. She said me not to swim. She told me not to swim much, to keep my money in a safe place, and to be carefully with the stranger girls. But one advice I broke. I swam a lot.
What about girls?
I was careful.
Okay, thank you, Vera. What about you?
Last summer I went to the country with my friends. We stayed there for 2 weeks. We go to the forest. Went to the forest, went to the lake. We played different active games. I took warm clothes and food. My mother told me not to go to bed very late, not to swim a lot, and to wash my hands. And I tried to follow my mother's advice.
Okay, thank you very. Helen, please.
Last summer I was going to go to the south Cambridge situated in Sochi, and all my relatives gave me advice. And I tried to do my best to follow all this advice, but it wasn't very difficult because all this advice was very useful. And I think I had a very pleasant journey because this advice helps me.
Thank you. Dennis, what about you?
Last summer I was in the seminary. My parents gave me only two advice: to be careful and keep my money in the safe place. I think that this advice, these two advice, is really useful. And every day I went to the fishing, swam much, and go to the disco. Went to the disco, and I had a very good time. I enjoyed all the time my journey, and I think that I need my parents' advice.
And they told you to hide money. Didn't they advise you to hide money in the shoe and put it under the pillow as Malik's uncle did?
I didn't follow this advice, but I really kept my money in the safe place.
Thank you. Tanya, what about you?
Last year I went to Anapa with my friends. I took a lot of beautiful clothes, and the weather was very hot, and every day we went to the sea. My mother told me not to get acquainted with the strange people and hide my money. I have a good journey.
Thank you. What about you, Sasha?
Last summer I went to St. Petersburg with my friends. Before my journey, my mother gave me some advice. She told me not to speak suspicious men, to hide my money, and not to drink alcohol and not to smoke. In St. Petersburg I visited a lot of interesting places. I was in the Hermitage, in the Petergof and others. I had a very pleasant journey.
Thank you. Everybody answered no. I have forgotten about Pasha. You have one.
Last summer I and my friends went to St. Petersburg. Our parents gave us some advice not to smoke, not to drink alcohol. And when we came to St. Petersburg, we went to the hotel. And next morning we went to the Petrogov and some institute, because my friends wanted to enter St. Petersburg institutes. In the evening we came to Safonova. We enjoyed our trip.
Okay, thank you, children. So today we have done much. We discussed the story and we have spoken about your travels. And I think now you know what to do while you are traveling. So open your record books and write down your home task, please. Those who have now record books, remember that your home task is to write a short composition about your last journey. Don't forget, while writing, what instructions you had before the journey, when you bought your ticket beforehand or just before departure of the train, what things and how much things you took. Okay? The lesson is over. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.